Well, howdy folks, welcome back to Taheton County. It's been a couple of months since we've caught up. Winter's here, winter's well and truly here. We haven't had too much snow on the ground, but you can see it is definitely coming out of the skies. But there hasn't really been a great deal going on around the farm, just a little bit of maintenance here and there, and that is about it. But we've got a good price for our corn, so we're going to go and get that sold today. That is our main task, and we've made a few other plans for the farm looking forward, so we'll have a little bit of a chat about those just as we drive on down the road. Now, before anyone asks, Uncle is all fine. He's recovered from his little fall and is back in fighting fit. And we've, in fact, well, you're not going to see him today, but I'm going to go see him today. He's going to be giving us a hand with loading the corn and getting it down and sold. Now, what we have actually done, because there is so much corn and we're going to have to grapple with getting the corn out of our field as well, the stuff out of the bag, that is also on the list of things to do. But because we have so much we're going to be having to get shipped, we have gone and leased ourselves a truck. The dealer had a truck and trailer unit down there, and it's actually something we might look at upgrading at some stage. It's something I've talked about before. It would be nice to have our own semi and maybe a bottom hopper trailer or something like that we could then sort of haul a little bit more grain than what we can with the little old truck we've got at the moment. So we're kind of considered a demo, I suppose, today. We are paying for it, but it's certainly the chance for us to test something out. It's not new, it is second hand, it's done a few Ks, and whether we actually bought that one or not, we've got something a little bit different. It's going to be a good test for us. As for other things that are happening on the farm, well, we'll go over that. There's going to be plenty of time to chat as we're driving, because really all we've got to do is get the auger set up back down in the farm, go and pick up this truck, and then we'll get into hauling. So plenty of time while we're in the cab to have a little bit of a chat about some of the plans. So we'll get on down to the dealer and we'll go and pick this truck up. Would you believe it? That hole has gone and put a fence up around this plot of land. I was just driving past on our way down to the dealer and I hadn't seen this. This is reasonably new. It's been a while since we've been down this part of the county, but certainly hadn't seen anything. But this was our access. This is how we got into the field. I know we said it very early on that it seemed that it wasn't actually part of our land. When we expanded the field that little bit, we realised we couldn't plough across there, but well, I mean, we were just using it, but I can't believe he's done that. He must know exactly what he is doing. Well, I'm not going to let that sit. We're going to go have some words with him. If we can find him, we'll get hold of him. We'll send him a strongly worded email or something. I don't know what we're going to do, but it does make it just that little bit harder to get in off the field. I guess we're going to have to look at making our own field access here, maybe in off the main road. I don't even know if we'll be allowed to. I know the roading authorities are very strict about how many entrances you can have in off the road in a certain distance, and I do expect that one's probably too close to be able to get a second one put in there. Sorry, I'll jump out of your way. Carry on as you were. But yeah, look at this. Where does it go to? Looked like it went quite a way down the road, but it goes all the way along here. Nothing would have been done in there yet, no building or no construction or anything like that in there, but it goes all the way down here into the trees. Let's, well, we could cut a tree down and get around the end, but that's almost vindictive, surely. Wow, that's not what I was expecting to come across today. Not going to let that get in the way of our tasks, but just something else we're going to have to deal with. Right. Let's not worry about it for now. Let's jump back in the pickup and we'll carry on down, not far down the road to the dealer. We'll not step out behind the pickup, let these cars go past. And we'll go and get this truck. Go and get started with hauling some corn. So we'll just leave our pickup parked out the front here, and I did ring ahead. They did say just head around the back. It's already all set up in the workshop, ready for us to go. So we'll just go on down the side here. Go and take a look. It's I think it's about a 60,000 litre hopper. I can't remember how many bushels that will be exactly, but we'll find out once we get our first load in. And there it is. Look at that. Nice big Wilson trailer. And what have we got up the front? It's a, that's a pretty nice looking Peterbilt, isn't it? There it is too. I like the paint scheme actually, the blue. It actually matches our pickup pretty nicely, doesn't it? There we go. Actually almost got a metallic tint to it. Oh, I do like that. Right, and it's been pretty well looked after, even though it's not new. It's looking in pretty good nick. Right, well, they put it in here so that it wasn't all cold and everything out in the snow. At least it was going to hopefully start a whole lot better than if it had been sitting out there. So let's get up, get started, and we'll get this back up into the yard. Alright, let's get that key turned on. There we go, that's everything up and running. Those lights up and on too. It is a little bit dark this morning, and particularly with the snow, we want to be as visible as we can. Got the wiper blades going already, so let's just see about trying to get ourselves out of here. It's a pretty unforgiving access or exit or anything like that. Really probably almost wanted it easier to back out, but oh, I feel like I'm going to drop the front into this ditch, but let's swing it out and hopefully we can get out and around. There we go. Right. That's us clear of the shed, so let's get turned around. We'll run back out that exit we just went past and head on down to the yard. I'll make a start on getting some corn sold. So my next challenge is going to be getting turned in here into the entrance. Hopefully we're going to be able to swing in there reasonably well. It's going to be a good test though. If we can't get this one in, it's probably not much point buying a truck or getting a truck like this that's not going to work on the farm, but it looks like we've done pretty well there. Excellent. Right, well that's navigatable, which is perfect. Now it looks like Uncle, he said he'd pop out. He's getting the truck warmed up. He was a little bit worried that the heater wasn't going to work very well and he was going to freeze, but he's got that out there and running and getting it warmed up, so we'll be able to get him loaded up and on the way first. So let's just, while we're parked here, just get things turned off. Like I said, it's running, getting warmed up. Now we're going to have to sort out the silos. We've got corn in the west steel bin here on the right, and I think it was the one here on the left as well, because that was the first bin we got put in, which had the soybeans in. Yeah, there we go, 125,000 litres of corn in there. We're popping over here to the west steel one. We've got 76,000 litres, so it's just on 200,000 litres here from the farm that we have to take down, plus everything that's sitting down in the bag on the field, which is going to be a little bit more of an adventure to get out. In fact, I'm almost wondering whether we might have to take the auger down there and try and get it a little bit closer to the road rather than driving the trucks in there, but we will figure that out a little bit later. For now, we need to get this auger in position underneath the unload spout so we can start getting it in, getting the corn in. Now we need to get the International out of the shed, get that all hooked up and get it all up and running. So we'll get that sorted out and we'll get some corn into the back of the trucks. So I think that is everything up and running. We're just going to try and get in under here, see if we can load ourselves up with some corn. There we go, we've got a trigger. Scroll through and we should be able to find our corn there. So press the button there and everything is working. Getting corn coming out of the little unload auger there on at the bottom of the bin and is going into the trucks. That's fantastic. Be able to get Uncle up and underway in no time. He's going to need some help from us each time, so we'll sort of send him off to go and unload. Now all of this is going down to the ethanol plant, the Poet ethanol plant, which we've driven past a number of times. It's kind of opposite the big farm down there near the shop. Over the train tracks, there's all the trains and everything out in front of it. So we will get Uncle all set up. We'll come out very soon. Might load the truck up actually. If we're smart, we might be able to follow him down and make sure he can get there properly. So we'll jump back into the other truck here and get this one all topped up as well. And there we go, we're getting some corn into the front hopper there on the truck. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to manoeuvre around here, I'm not quite sure. We might have to kind of nose up in between the two sheds, maybe back down here, past the tractor and then turn out. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be the best way or not. I'm not that game in the current weather conditions to use this little track that goes out here behind the shed, so we'll figure out what's going to be the best way to manoeuvre. But let's just pull forward and get the rest of the trailer filled up and then we'll be on the road. Alright, there we are, full. Now we've got this wonderful electronic tarp and we'll get that all covered up over on the trailer, and yeah, I think this is going to be the best way to do this. Certainly wouldn't want to try and turn tightly around in that area. I did have ambitions that might have worked, so this could actually be a bit of a limiting factor here on our choice of truck in the future. Maybe we'll have to have a look at upgrading that roadway and track so we could get out around the back of the shed, but here we go, this might work. Start turning that way, the truck facing the right direction. Swing out there, we're not going to clip the back of the tractor, the front of the tractor. Pretty tight, but no, we've made it around. Actually, there was quite a bit of space there for that, so there we go. Right, we'll go get Uncle, tell him we're ready to go, and we'll hit the road, get this first load down to the ethanol plant. Alright, there we go, we're on the road. Now, Uncle's gone out to the right hand side. I don't know why he's going that way. Maybe he knows something I don't know about the roads, but let's try. We didn't take that quite as wide as I could have. Just about drop the trailer into the ditch. Could be, again, another upgrade we might have to do. Maybe we'll have to see if we can find a slightly shorter hopper bottom than this one. This one is a 53 foot trailer, so maybe we need to find a slightly shorter one. But he's off, he's gone, and we're going to struggle to catch up with him. I think I told him don't go over 35, so we'll see if he obeys us or not. Listens to us, shall I say. Obeys probably not quite the right word. But as we're driving down here, I do want to just have a quick chat about some of the plans for the farm. Obviously the key thing is to get that shed finished. It'd be great to have some more indoor storage, but actually of more importance of that is actually getting a new planter. Obviously we had the issues with the planter last season, and as the advice was given us, push it down the hill, hide it in the trees and forget about it. So we are going to have to be on the lookout, and we are certainly on the lookout for a new planter. So that's definitely priority number one. Number two would definitely be to get the shed, and then it's to start to look at some of the other equipment upgrades, whether we try and find a new combine. Maybe we want to buy one for ourselves that we have rather than replacing the gleaner. We could get one to pair with it. Maybe we look at some other options, maybe corn drying. That's something we've had some people suggest to us. That is another way we could try and earn a little bit more money. There's a few other little things. I've been talking to Uncle and trying to convince him to look at some intercrop planting and some inter-row crop planting, which we've heard some wonderful stories about, where soybeans and corn are planted in the same field. So that's also something to try. He's not that keen on it, but it's something I'm kind of keen to try out on our fields, the leased fields, and see if that works for us. So a few different things. Something else I'd heard some wonderful things about is the Bushel Plus system, and particularly running on the back of the gleaner. Apparently there's quite a bit goes out the back. I didn't see too much loss, but if we can improve that and refine the performance on the combine even more, then that would be awesome. So something else to look at. What else? I'm on the lookout for some land, trying to find somewhere we can build that house now that we've missed out on that plot down there next to the field. So lots to go on with here, but for now we're going to carry on. We're going to get these crops sold. We've got a lot of corn to do. We're going to spend a few hours running the truck and just getting it all done. Looking forward to seeing how much money we can put into Aunt and Uncle's bank accounts, and of course into our own. Speaking of our own, we've had a couple more field loan payments come out. We've also had to pay for some lime, or for the lime spreading that we had done on the field. We'll also have to get in and order some of our commodities soon too, get the seed, fertiliser, those kind of things ordered. So we'll be in touch with FBN and take advantage of that 0% interest as well. Actually need to double check that Uncle's paid those invoices. I gave them to him. We have to go and double check that he has made those payments to FBN for the last year's crop. So anyhow, lots to do, lots to keep us busy. Let's carry on and get all these crops sold and see how much money we can make. 2 trips down and about $100,000 better off than when we started, which is just awesome. Super stoked for that. We've got 31,000 litres left here in the bin, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to wait for Uncle to get back here, then we'll fill him up. He can have a full truckload, take that down and get it sold, and we'll just put the last little bit in our truck before we mosey on over and shift everything over to the other field to get everything taken out of those bags. We're going to have to go and grab the extractor from the neighbour. We're going to have to take the tractor down. I reckon we will take this auger down, because this more it snows, the more I'm worried we're going to get stuck down in that field, particularly driving up and out of those out of there. But I don't think it's going to be long enough to really give us a huge amount of benefit, so we'll just have to see how we get on. Now, we had a little bit of a hiccup there. You would have seen the train tracks. I was intending to stop at the crossing, but I didn't realise the level crossing covered both the tracks. I knew the train went down the second of the 2 crossings, but I didn't actually see that the barrier arms were going to come down right there in front of me, so that was a little bit of an unfortunate incident. But all in all though, the truck's going really well. I think if we could find a 43-foot trailer, we would make it just that little bit better. Maybe the truck's good, I don't know. Could even, if we got something with a slightly shorter frame, we might actually find it a little bit more manoeuvrable as well. But anyhow, let's just wait for Uncle to get back here, and we'll get the last of the corn out of these bins. Now, of course, just before we do wait for him, I do need to remember how much of the corn that was in that bin was ours, so we will actually be getting some of this money too. It's not just for Uncle and Aunt. Of course, they've got a bin full of soybeans too, which is actually going to be worth a pretty penny too, so things looking good. Things are looking good. Here's Uncle back, which is perfect timing. Means we can go and get him loaded up and back on his way. Now, I was just doing a little bit of a check. It seems to be the auto-drive course where the connection into the ethanol plant for Uncle to go left out of here and back down doesn't look like it's complete, so we might just have to take a quick look at that, see if we can get that working, just so he doesn't have to travel quite so far. There we go, 25,000 litres in the back of the truck, so we'll just press go on the auto drive. Should be able to jump out in just a second. Make sure he negotiates around there. That's looking good. Now let's just wait and see. In fact, jump out, follow along here, see if he does turn left. I did go down very quickly and just try and fix that auto drive point, so fingers crossed. Instead of going the long way to the right, he's going to turn left and head that way. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be much more efficient. Right, that's all fixed. Let's go get these last 7,000 litres into our truck, and then we'll head on over and get everything moved over to the other field. So we go, truck is sorted, we've got the auger on the back of the tractor, so we're going to jump up in here, turn the truck off, let that just sit there for a wee while. We're going to jump up in here, we will get this over to the field, then we'll head on down to the neighbours and go and grab the bag extractor for the corn bag, bring that back down, then we'll get everything set up and we should be good to go with getting the corn out of there. So we're just going to go and get that all sorted out, and once we're done we will see you down there. Well, it's nice to see that the snow has stopped falling, but it's actually accumulated a lot more than I thought, and I'm going to have some second thoughts about getting into the field, and I'm going to explain to you just why that is. Of course, as you can see, we got down here with the tractor and we got all set up there on the bagger or the extractor or whatever you want to call it, but came to the realization I've only got one tractor, which can actually power, and we're just going to park ourselves here. We'll put our hazard lights on, we'll go and have a quick look. So we've only got the one tractor that can actually use here, and we can't run the auger. The other issue we had is, you can see where the bag is, the auger is way too far away to even contemplate getting a truck or anything in underneath it. We've got this slope to contend with. Well, the ground's actually quite firm underneath. This snow on top's a little bit slimy, so I don't think we're going to get any traction out there. So we've had a chat to Uncle. He's not far away. He should be down here soon in the truck. But we've actually given someone else a call. I'm going to be here very soon with a grain cart, and we're going to use a tractor and a grain cart to load out of here, and then we're going to transfer it up into the trucks up there on the road, and that should be the best way I think we're going to have to get this all taken out of here. Quite a bit, a couple 100,000 litres, can't remember how many bushels it was, but good amount of corn sitting down here. It's going to be good again to get this all sold while the price is good. And hopefully before the snow disappears. It shouldn't melt too quickly, but it's nice to see those clouds are sort of blowing away. You can see them sort of heading off over that way, and things have cleared up a little bit. So it's turning into quite a nice day, and a nice day to make some money. So we'll just wait. Uncle will be here soon, and then we'll have whoever it is coming to help us. I don't even know who it is he's got to come and help us, but he's called in a favour, so fingers crossed this is all going to work. Of course, it's nice to know Uncle called in a favour, because he has no interest in this corn really getting pulled out because it's ours, but I guess it's a little bit of reward for us helping him. Right, let's wait, we'll see who turns up. Well, here we go, here comes Uncle along here, and looks like he's got a friend in tow, which is, we'll just wait and see as he gets along here who it is that's coming, but that's looking like a pretty grunty piece of equipment to be running down here in on the snow. What have we got? Look at that. Kinsey bin on the back, 1050, and at the front an 8295R. I think that's about a 2010, 2011 model tractor. So not the newest, but still a nice looking piece of kit, and I don't think we're going to have any issues with getting things loaded up and out of the field now with that. We'll have to park up on the side now. I don't know where the best way to unload is going to be. What side does the auger come out on? We'd probably actually have been better being on the other side of the road facing back the way we've just come, just so that they can drive past with the auger, but I think we're quite enough up here. I think if we just go and get everything set up, we might jump in, have a chat to the driver and the tractor and get them all sorted out. We'll get Uncle to go down, he can run the bag extractor down there for us, and we can give the auger guy a little bit of a hand to get the first of the trucks loaded up. I think 1051 bushels, that's about 37,000 litres, so it'll easily fill the truck and half of that trailer, so it's going to take 2 or 3 trips to get in and out, but yeah, that's all going to work out really well. So let's get things set up, we'll get the truck in a better spot, we'll get the grain cart down into the field, and we'll get the trucks loaded up. Well, we've actually been trusted to drive this down in here, so we've got the cover open on the back of the grain cart, and we should just head down there. So we've got Uncle sitting up in the case in the International there. Now, just going to be very careful, I've got to get used to having big jaws on there. Look at them lock up as we braked there on the snow. Just clear the bag, clearing underneath that auger just fine. Let's just have a look if we get a little bit closer, whether that's going to start filling into the grain cart or not. And there we go, look at that, perfect. Right, well, we'll let this fill up. Now, of course, the way the bag is, the bag will start getting shorter from that end, rather than the bagger going backwards, which is what would normally happen. Why have we only got a little bit in there? Probably because it wasn't primed. Right, we'll just have to jump in the tractor very quickly just to fix that. Right, there we go, that's carried on. We've got over the 2,000 litres, just the way the mod works. So let's let that fill up. Make sure we get this evenly distributed through the grain cart, and then we're going to start getting the trucks loaded. So we'll see you once we're on the road again. Well, there we are, both trucks full. Uncle is off, so we're going to head the same way. Of course, we can't turn around or anything like that. We're going to have to head down there. Now, I think if we get to the end of the road here, head round to the left, we can come out pretty much right opposite the shop at the junction there, which takes us down to the ethanol plant. So jump up here into the Peterbilt and head on our way. Well, that's about $94,000 in the bank for us. Pretty exciting to see that corn getting sold. But as you might have seen, there is only about 19,000 litres left in the grain cart, which is all we need to fill up Uncle's truck. So there's no point taking this all the way down there. So we'll get in here, we'll get that turned off, jump on out of it, and just say what a pleasure it has been to drive. That's been a really enjoyable drive. Struggled a little bit with a loaded trailer going up the that steep hill around the back, which is why I changed the direction and orientation we were running and coming back. But definitely be nice to be able to have something like that on the farm. That trailer moves, what, almost 2.5 times what Uncle can move in one go. So while he was able to get down and back a little bit quicker than us, we certainly moved more grain than he did. So we'll see. We might have to get it back for the soybeans, but I mean, we've only got 1 bin of soybeans, not 2 bins and a big bag full of soybeans, so it won't take quite as much effort to get those sold. And of course, we don't get a good price on those for another 6 or so months. So we'll grab the pickup, we'll head back down to the field, we'll get Uncle filled up for the last time, go and get that sold. That'll give us a good wrap up on exactly how much money we've made. There we go, we're getting the last of the corn here into Uncle's truck. I'm not sure if he's going to depart once it is empty, or once the grain cart's empty, because he won't quite know he's full. So we'll figure that out, get him off and then down and selling. Now, a good thing that I've got the pickup back here. In fact, let's have a look. Hold that auger up. No, it doesn't look like he's going to move. Doesn't need us out of the way. Sometimes thinks there's a collision, but no, he's going to sit there and wait. That's right, good thing bringing the pickup back down. We can take the auger back down to the farm, and we'll meet Uncle back there once he's sold that last load, and then we'll come back down and pick up the International, and we'll be all done. And of course, we can send this back off to Uncle's friend. He is very generous with lending this to us. It has been a huge help. It's beautiful looking setup actually. It's 8295R on the front there, 295 horsepower, following this 151 bushel bin. Very good setup, and has worked perfectly for what we were going to do. I don't think we would have got a truck in and out of there, especially once we were driven through the field and sloshed up that snow just a little bit. So really good choice. Anyhow, let's go get Uncle on his way and get everything else sorted out. Well, here is Uncle back from his last delivery. All the corn now sold, and well, I think the bank account speaks for itself. We got $231,000 there in total in Uncle and Aunt's bank account. Now I need to go through and just remember exactly how much corn we put up in the West Steel bin, but we were on $126,000 before we went over to the other field, so there's about $105,000 that we earned off our leased fields for ourselves, plus the 120-ish or whatever that Aunt and Uncle got. So I haven't looked back compared to last season's crops, but that is already a huge boost, huge increase in money earned. I don't think we even earned that much for Aunt and Uncle off all their crops, let alone just selling one of them. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to go a long way to helping them with their debt. Fingers crossed. I think they had, what was the quote we said, 90,000, 100,000 to get this shed finished off. Might mean they can finally get some cladding and roofing and everything put up here on the shed, get some doors on it, and be able to actually use that to store some equipment. So yeah, things are on the up. It's looking like it's going to be another good year, or actually not another one, a first good year for Aunt and Uncle here on the farm, and a good year for us as well. So excited to get into spring and get some planting going soon. It's not too far away. Even if there is a few inches of snow on the ground, it'll come around very, very fast. We've got to go grab the tractor, go and get that bag extractor, drop back off to the neighbours, and get everything back over here. But we'll sort that out a little bit later. For today, I think we're all done. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.